Hello Fantasy Faithfuls, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 14 of CSD Head-to-Head. Today we have two new running backs in Isaiah Crowell and Hyde.
Now hands it off to Crowell, the burst across midfield. Streaking down the sideline, Isaiah Crowell.
Starting off, we're looking at Crowell's rushing and receiving patterns. Crowell has a clear favorite running lane, and that is outside the right guard, also called the B gap. 28% of his runs goes there, and the other B gap outside the left guard sees 19%. So there's a clear preference where he runs most. He lacks runs outside the tackles, but we will soon see that this is not a big concern to us. His most productive running lanes are up the middle, also called the A gap, and also outside the left guard. The C gap or outside the tackles are his least productive running lanes, which fits perfectly with the play calling. This will be very interesting to see if this continues in the Jets as it did with the Browns. His receiving patterns remind me of Matt Breida, heavily favoring the right side of the field while almost no plays goes the other way, with 29, 25, and 45. What can be said about him catching the ball though? He doesn't do it too well, but not bad enough for me to make a big deal about it. He's just a little meh in the catching part of the game. Crowell has a touchdown rate of 2.0 over the last 3 years, which is one of the lowest for RB1s in the entire league. Alfred Blue level of touchdowns. And if the catching was meh, the yards per catch is just awful. He basically catches the ball and falls down. There's no big gains or anything close to league average here. It's just terrible.
Hyde toward the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland Browns.
Now let's take a look at Hyde's rushing and receiving patterns. Hyde is more of a classic running back compared to Crowell. The play calling usually leads him up the middle with 29%. After that, he has 14% each outside the guards in the B gap. With a pretty even play calling spread out to all running lanes, he is difficult to scheme for as he can run anywhere at any time. With the diverse play calling also comes more spread out results in his productivity. As he runs to all lanes, he does not get the chance to rack up yards where he's most productive, which is the runs outside the left tackle for 6.3 yards. He still has 13% of his runs there, but I would like to see an upwards towards 19 or 20%. Hyde's receiving is a more traditional running back pattern. He sees most passes to the outside zones while the middle is underrepresented. This reminds us of Jordan Howard from last week. He catches the ball slightly better than Crowell, and when I say slightly, I mean slightly. He only averages 2% better than Crowell in every zone with 75, 63, and 74%. His touchdown rate over the last 3 years has been a modest 2.9, which is below league average, but not crazy bad. Back to his receiving, and we see that both Crowell and him just should not be focal points in the passing game. Hyde is even worse at gaining yards on passes, almost 3 yards below league average in all zones. Crazy bad.
It's a first and goal from the one. Hyde trying to take it in, and he does. Touchdown Browns.
Now let's have a look at how they perform in different situations. Accounting for what they've done in the past and in the first 3 weeks of 2018, we see that Crowell is almost worth 3 more points at home than away, and Hyde does not really change that much. Crowell has traditionally performed better against AFC teams than NFC, while Hyde has been better versus the NFC. Both of them perform better when they're facing teams below 500 record. Tough for Crowell this week, while Hyde has a better situation. And speaking of situations, Crowell's best one is playing at home versus a below 500 record AFC team, and Hyde's best situation is playing away versus a below 500 record NFC team.
45 yards rushing on the drive. Here's a cutback for the touchdown for Crowell.
Time to look a little closer at the two defenses they will face. The Jaguars have given up 3.9 yards per carry over the first 3 weeks, while the Raiders have given up 4.9 on 11 less carries. The Jaguars have a terrific run defense and match against Crowell really well. They give up very few yards to Crowell's 3 most productive running lanes, but let up outside the right tackle, a lane Crowell must abuse. The Raiders aren't bad day either, and especially against Hyde. They give up 1.8 yards per carry on average in Hyde's 4 most productive running lanes. It will be very tough for him. And as I said, both teams have a pretty good defense against the run, only giving up 14.9 points for the Jaguars and 16 for the Raiders. Comparing their numbers, Crowell wins the 1-game ceiling with 20.1 against Hyde's 18.9. However, Hyde wins the 1-game floor easily with 9.6 points against Crowell's 5.7. The risk of them not reaching their projection this week is a close affair. Crowell has 26%, while Hyde has 33%, so almost neglectable. I have them projected to score 10.3 points and 12.4. With all the stats in mind, let's look at the pros and cons before we make a decision on who to start. Crowell's running matches better against the Jags than Hyde's against the Raiders, and his ceiling this week is great, but his touchdown rate has me worried, and with his low floor, it can be a bust this week. Hyde has a safer floor and a higher projection. Combine that with higher touchdown rate and I feel pretty good. However, the Oakland run defense is a perfect storm for him, so it does have some risk involved. My pick after comparing all the factors such as the rushing and receiving breakdown, trends, numbers, pros and cons is Carlos Hyde. Both of them have extremely difficult tasks this week with running defenses that match them very well. They will have hard times, but I do think Hyde will come out on top. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And as always, the spreadsheets are dark and full of terror. Hello Fantasy Faithful, I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check out more of them right here and here. In case you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat.